What's up? It's the Deck Talking Devil. Cigar for the night. San Cristobal. Pretty good smoke. It's more of a light body. Maybe mild to medium. I typically prefer full bodies or medium to fulls. So if you like light body cigars, get us one a shot. Beverage for the night. Crown Royal Rye. I'm not the biggest fan of the rye, but one thing I gotta say about it, it goes down smooth. That's a smooth drink. So our book for tonight, Black Man of the Nile and His Family by Dr. Yosef Ben Yakin. If you don't know this legend right here, if you're not familiar with this God right here, I don't know where you've been. You should be embarrassed to call yourself conscious. This guy laid the foundation for what we call the conscious movement. He was very instrumental. I don't want to say it as if he did it solo or single-handedly. You had other guys like Dr. Jacob Carruthers, Dr. Chancellor Williams. You had some other heavy hitters out there, but Dr. Ben was definitely there in the forefront of the Black conscious community. And Black Man of the Nile, Black Man of the Nile is probably his most popular work, where he exposed European distortions of African history. He cleared up misconceptions and he gave us accurate scholarship that's been vetted and that cannot be rebutted. So ever since 72, when that book was published, you cannot rebut the information in there. It's solid. His scholarship was solid. Another thing, some people criticize Dr. Ben in his books and they say, well, Dr. Ben, his writing style was awkward. And that may be true if you're used to reading academic works here in the West. But Dr. Ben's style was intentional. He intentionally patterned his book and structured it the way that he did to use redundancies in order to drive home critical and key points. So, if you're a student of history, you have got to read this book, Black Man of the Nile and His Family by Dr. Yosef Ben Yakin. You won't regret that you did. So, here we are on this Labor Day weekend, the first day of the college football return back to TV. I know everybody's been rooting for their teams. You know how I roll. It's Auburn Tigers over here. I bleed orange and blue. So you roll with your favorite team. Hopefully your team had success today. I know Bama took down Duke. They dominated the game. There was a couple of upsets like Tennessee. But whoever your team is, hopefully you guys were able to get off the ground running. If not, you'll be back on the field next week. Hopefully you can make some improvements. Now, I know you all have been made aware of a mass shooting that took place in Odessa, Texas earlier today. The initial report saying at least 5 people dead and 20 injured. Among those 20, I think it's like a state trooper who was injured, as well as a local police officer in Odessa. The shooter's been shot and killed. 30-year-old or mid-30-year-old white male has been shot and killed. There's something fishy about this. If you notice, there's been a rash of mass shootings all of a sudden lately. I wonder what it could be. Could it be that somebody's trying to drive gun control legislation? Something to think about here. If you think back, every time we get close to elections, there's mass shootings. And then the political candidates, the presidential candidates, gubernatorial candidates, all build their platforms around gun control. And they refer back to these recent fresh shootings and build their platform on that. Is it just coincidence? Could be. Could just be another psychotic Christian going on a killing spree. You do know that most of these mass shootings have been committed by Christians, don't you? Or is it that we just still stuck in the same mental rut as branding Muslims as being violent and turning a blind eye to the fact that 80% of crimes committed in America are committed by confessing Christians? Yeah. If you go back to October 11th, 1963, Malcolm X did this interview at Berkeley College. And Malcolm X ripped them to shreds about referring to Muslims as being violent, about referring to black people as being violent. And Malcolm X used the example of if a black man was being lynched and he fought his lynchers to try to free himself from the noose of the rope. They would then turn around and call the black man the violent one, the aggressor, and try to portray those who were attempting to lynch him as being the victims. This is the same thing that we do in Western society with Christians versus other religions. When Christians commit these mass, grotesque, heinous crimes, we turn the blind eye to the fact that they're professing Christians, and maybe it's indicative of a sickness inherent in the religion itself. But let a Muslim commit an act like 9/11, and oh hell, all hands on deck, we gotta get rid of the Muslims. Something's wrong. But hey, what the hell do I know? I'm just a deck talking devil. Maybe I had a little too much crown. Maybe it's the cigar smoke going to my brain or something. Or maybe, just maybe, in the year 2019, Christians are still portraying the same violent tendencies that they had 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 2,000 years ago. The history of Christianity is as bloody as your morning news stories. Now, you could say it's nothing wrong with Christianity itself. It's the misuse of Christianity by those who perpetrate these acts of violence against the innocent. You could say that. But it is your Bible that tells you that salt water or bitter water and sweet water cannot flow from the same spout. It is your Bible that tells us that you shall know them by their fruits. A good tree can't produce bad fruit. So if what we've seen, the entire history of Christianity, has been acts of violence portrayed upon the innocent, then how can we call Christianity good? Hey, I don't know. I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Muslim. I really don't give a damn. But it's time out for us branding every other religion in the West, every other religion in the world as being evil, as being wrong, as being lost and misguided, except for Christianity. It's time for you guys to own up and accept these Christian radicals who go out and slaughter masses of people every single year. It's been the Deck Talking Devil. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I need you to click on that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to turn on those notifications. Hit that bell so that every time there's a new video, you'll be the first to know. Until next time, keep smoking, my friends.